Now the featured image in WordPress heads the article. That's the first image that you come across. It's above all the content, and usually the first thing that social media sites pick up when you share it. But if you use a featured image, most of the time the sites like Twitter and Facebook will pull that immediately. I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to be taking a look at the featured image in WordPress and how to create and use one. Now before we get started, if you can hit the like button, help the channel out. And for more videos about blogging and WordPress, hit subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always hit me up on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, or use the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website. Okay, the featured image is essentially what I said earlier. It's the first one that goes up on a post as soon as you create one in WordPress. The featured image is also what WordPress and the themes use to create thumbnails for your website. Now the actual dimensions of the featured image are going to be different depending on the theme you use. Every theme is different, and you can use pretty much any image that you want, but personally I like to try to keep it close to what the featured image requirements are for a theme to keep the file size down to a minimum. So you can upload something that's like 2000 by 3000, but people are still going to have to render that image when they're trying to access your website, even if your website shrinks it down. Okay, so how do you create a featured image? Well, it depends on what you want in your header. Personally, I use Photoshop, but I also have a template that's set up that all I have to do is type in my image and change some text around, upload the image, and I'm good to go. But I also spend $10 a month for Photoshop. But what if you can't afford Photoshop? Well, that's when you can use something like Photopea. Now, Photopea works pretty much identical to Photoshop, and it's free, completely free. You don't even need to create an account. And the cool thing is that it supports PSD files, which are Photoshop files. So you can support PSDs, XDs, Sketch. I mean, it does everything. And it's completely free. Okay, so what if I need a specific image? Well, for this example, I'm going to create a 715 by 400 featured image, and I'm going to upload it to my website. So I need to go to File, New. I'm going to create a 715 by 400, and I'm going to leave it at 72 dpi, which is pretty much the standard for anything that's online. So then I'm just going to hit the Create button here. Okay, so there is the size dimensions for the image I'm creating. Now, I do have a screenshot that I want to use, so I can either go to File and Open to bring it in, or I can drag and drop it directly from my desktop and slap it right on top. And as you can see, when I drag and dropped it right in, it immediately sized it perfectly according to the dimensions. Of course, if I wanted to zoom in, I could always grab it and move it around. If you hold down the Shift button, it keeps its proportions. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it there. But there we go. I can just go ahead and save that now. I could put in some text if I want. My featured images on WriterSanctuary have the little diamond thing at the top, and I have text inside that, but this is just a temp. So you can pretty much do anything you want here. You have all your tools on the left, but this is just a sample. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. So I'm going to go File. I'm going to go to Export As, and we're going to export it as a JPEG. Now we can export it as a GIF or PDF or SVG, PNG. I prefer JPEG, so I'm going to go ahead and hit JPEG. And from here, we can adjust the quality of it. The lower the quality of the image, you'll see the pixelation to it, but it also makes a much smaller file. So you can go high quality to where everything is perfect on it, or you can just drop it all the way down to as low as you want, and it gets kind of terrible after a while. But I want to keep it at 80%. We've got our size good to go, so all I gotta do is hit save. This brings up the save window. If you don't see a save window for where you want to store your image, it'll probably default to your downloads folder on your computer. Okay, that's done. Alrighty, so now that we have our featured image ready to go, I go back to my post. Now this is a temp post that I have on my self-installed WordPress on my computer. And I'm going to scroll down here and go to featured image and click on it. I'm going to upload, select the file, ABC, there it is, temp image. Set featured image, there we go. Now the theme is only going to show the centermost part of it, but the whole image is going to show on the blog post. I'll show you that in a minute. So now we have our featured image set. We scroll back up and we're going to hit publish. Of course, you can also hit update. It depends on if you're adding a new featured image to an old post or not. So we're publishing it. And now we're going to view our post. And there we go. Now we have our featured image above the blog post. Just like that. Adding a featured image is pretty easy in WordPress. I like to try to, like I said, try to size everything perfectly and just upload it from there. But everybody's different. And now if I was to share that on Twitter or Facebook, it would grab the featured image and throw it in the post automatically. But as you can see, Photopea is pretty easy to use. It runs just like Photoshop. You don't need an account to run it. It handles a wide scope of different things you can do. So what's your favorite graphic design program for blogging? I like Photopea and Canva are my top two. And I like Canva because you can do a slew of different things with Canva depending on what you're trying to set up. But if you're trying to create your own images, definitely Photopea runs just like Photoshop. So if you find the video informative, hit the like button. For more videos about blogging, freelance writing, WordPress, text broker, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next week.